Hi everyone, DevDominique here. I am very excited to share with you my completed Sea Monster landing page built as part of the Prework challenge for CodePath's full stack web development pathway, in particular their Web 102 course. Are you guys ready? Here we go. This site showcases Sea Monster Crowdfunding, a company that funds indie games and highlights both their impact and the games still seeking financial support. First up, the introduction section. This gives a quick overview of the company, how many games remain unfunded, and it sets the stage for the rest of the page. Now in this section here, I've used JavaScript so that this total will dynamically update depending on new pledges that are received. And also, once a game reaches its funding goal, it would update this number here. Instead of 7 brilliant games still needing funding, it would be 6 brilliant games. And so that's just something that was a part of this project, getting that part to work. Now moving on to the stat section, here I displayed total contributions, which is basically the number of pledges that have been received, dollars raised, which is the same as this amount up here, and the total number of games. Another aspect of the stat section was to display the top 2 games, meaning who reached or surpassed their funding goal. And so Zoo Tycoon would have been the top game, and then How to Read Minds 2 would be the second game. So I was able to use filtering in JavaScript to actually pull up these 2 top games. And now moving down to the Our Games section, it's fully interactive. Users can filter to see only funded games, only unfunded games, or view all the games. First of all, here are all the games. There's a total of 11. If you click the Show Unfunded Only, you'll see those 7 games there that still have not met their funding goal. And then funded games have actually met or surpassed the goal. For instance, this game was How to Read Minds was trying to reach $10,000. They're already at $147,000. So these are the 4 games that I would say are fully funded. And you can also go back to Show All Games. And just to have a little more fun here, I implemented a search bar in the top nav in the navigation pane up here so that users can jump straight to the game they want. You can type in a keyword for a game. So let's say you were trying to pull up Zoo Tycoon. You might type zoo. You can either hit search or press enter on your keyboard. So if you hit search, not only does it pull up that filtered result, but it also drops you down to this Our Game section. So you're not left having to scroll down. And I'll just demonstrate if you press. So let's type in king as a keyword and just hit enter, same thing. So I put both key press and mouse click functionality using an event listener on that search button that brings you down here. And of course, if you want to go back to see all the games, you just click Show All Games again. Finally, I implemented, before I go to that, I want to just mention this top nav. This wasn't really a requirement, but just something I thought to add to the project to make it a little more interesting. So of course, just a home. If you click on games, it's going to drop you down to Our Games section, just a bit of a shortcut. And there's also a Pledge Now link that drops you down to the Pledge section, which I will talk about now. This Make a Pledge section invites users to support the cause with preset pledge buttons or a custom amount of their choosing. It's a small touch that makes its experience feel a little more actionable. So if you click on either of these buttons, a little alert box will pop up. So obviously now, because this is just a project for demonstration purposes, there is no payment collected here. But just to demonstrate, if you click on 20, it'll say thank you for your pledge of 20. Same thing with 50 or 100. And if you go to custom amount, this actually will prompt the user to enter whatever they'd like to pledge. So maybe they pushed the wrong key, right? So it'll say, please enter a valid dollar amount. Or maybe they enter $500 with a dollar sign. Still enter a valid dollar amount. Now, before I finish this dialog box would say, please enter a valid dollar amount and then close. And then you'd have to click custom amount again to restart the process. But what I did is put it on a while loop so that it would keep reprompting you to enter the correct value. So if we just enter 500, because I want to donate or pledge $500, I can click OK. And now it says, thank you for your pledge of $500. Now, I did face some challenges throughout this process, and each of those helped me to grow as a developer. This project pushed me to integrate JavaScript logic with structured data in such a way that felt both functional and user-friendly. I spent time refining dynamic rendering, filtering mechanisms, and responsive design to create a smooth, intuitive experience across all sections. In total, I'd say I spent about maybe 20 hours or so on this project, and along the way, I've deepened my understanding of DOM manipulation, event listeners, and user-centered design. I also practiced accessibility and navigation flow, making sure that each section is easy to reach and intuitive to explore. And I must say, one of my favorite aspects of doing this project, besides building and developing this website, was actually putting together the README. I love the template that we got from CodePath. I thought that it was very thorough and gave me a much better idea of how to put together a successful README, so I really appreciated that part as well. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I'm really looking forward to what comes next on my path as a budding web developer. Thanks.